Hey everybody, what's up? This is Brian, and I'm here to do my review on issue 205. And first of all, I want to apologize for the fact that 205, the review that I usually do, wasn't done at the time that I usually do it on, which was about a month ago. The reason for it, if you will, is the fact that at the time I couldn't afford to renew my subscription. Now I know that sounds silly and I know that sounds a little weird, but it's true. You see, basically what happened was the fact that my finances didn't allow me to renew my subscription when I should have. You see, basically I have a routine. I pay my bills, rent, and all that. I take care of that first. And then I try to go for these. Or do something like this. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that. What happened was the fact that my bank, and I'm not sure if any bank you guys go to do the same thing, but my bank allows me to get an overdraft up to a certain limit. Well, I surpassed that limit about a month before, so they suspended me. And unfortunately, due to financial reasons, because of that suspension, and due to the fact that I had to take care of some bills, cable being the biggest, if you will, rent and all that, I couldn't get this on time, or I couldn't get this renewed. I mean, I tried to get it renewed, but what happened is that even though I did everything online, I went to the Archie Comics website, typed in my information, did all of that, asked for the 12th issue with the 13th issue free subscription offer. But what happened instead is, even though it looked like it went through and I got a receipt, I got an email from them, and well, it was sort of, the email was actually sent into my junk mail file, and it said that the order did not go through, and that it was declined. And I called the people up at Archie Comics to confirm this, and they said it was true. So basically, I had to wait a couple weeks until my finances got reinstated, until my overdraft got reinstated and my finances were up to date. And to make sure I had the money this time, even though I had to do the same thing over again, which was pay bills, rent, and all that, to make sure I had the finances, because I wasn't sure if I was reinstated to overdraft if I had to, when I renewed, I instead renewed with a 6-issue subscription. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, did Brian get this from Archie Comics? No, I didn't. Actually, I got this from a comic book store called Black Cat Comics, which is located in Milpitas, California. Basically, what it was that 2 weeks ago, I renewed my subscription, and it went through and everything. The only thing is, and this has happened to me before, and I'm pretty sure this has happened to you, my subscription doesn't really start until the next upcoming issue, in which this month will be 206. So I had to go online to find where I can get this mailed to me. And originally I was going to try Mile High Comics, because I usually, get these comics from there in case I miss a subscription, or in case I don't get the issue in order with my subscription, if you will. But believe this or not, even if I would have ordered just this, they wanted $4.25 for it, and together with shipping costs and everything, FedEx or United States Postal, they would have charged me almost $12 to have that sent. So instead, I looked online. I was lucky enough to find Black Cat Comics. and they are on Facebook. If you want to know, if you got a Facebook account, you can look them up. And I ordered it from them, and there was no added cost or anything. It was $2.50. It was basically like $5 right there, $5.41 with tax. And here's what really surprised me. They actually gave me the courtesy to call. They actually gave me the courtesy to call me up and ask how I would like it shipped, because it surprised them that usually when they shipped items, they ship them by UPS. But it surprised them that UPS wanted to, ask for so much to ship it from Milpitas, California to Patterson, California. And the guy told me that never happened to him before. So, anyway, he called me up and he said, he said that if he was to ship it by United States Postal, it'd be cheaper, because he wouldn't want me to look at my bank statement and go like, where did this come from? Why am I being charged this? So I told him go ahead and do it by United States Postal, and that's what they did. And so as you see before you, I have 205, but I will get my subscription restarted probably within the week when I get 206. But anyway, let's get into the story, shall we? And this may be in 2-3 parts, so I apologize for that. But let's get into the story, shall we? Now, as we see here, we start out with the preview pages for the first story, the first 3 pages of the first story. The other 2 pages are for the backstory. But anyway, we start out with the first 3 pages of the preview. Then we have Robotnik here, basically stomping through Megalopolis with his egg tortoise, saying he's Warlord Julian, Dr. Ivor, Eggman, Robotnik, Robo, Kanipko, Mark, basically blabbing off, saying his rule is law and his law is his will, and that he hates that hedgehog, and that he's going to destroy him because he's always the opposite going his way. And then here we have the Iron King telling Snively, inform the Iron Queen. And Snively saying, okay, no problem. And then, of course, we go to the next page where Sonic and Monkey Kong are visiting Bunny in the hospital. And Bunny's informing them that all she needed was some rest. But here the doc says, and an emergency influx of electrodes and constant supervision throughout the night. But if you want to call it rest, you can go ahead. And here Monkey Kong's giving her flowers, saying, you never should have been in that kind of danger, and he should have warned you, and that he's sorry. And Bunny hears to him, and Bunny says, Bunny just tells him, hey, look, I've been in plenty of danger before, and that hasn't stopped, and I don't plan, and that hasn't stopped. I've been in plenty of danger before, and I don't plan to stop. And that she appreciates the flowers because he's giving him flowers. And of course, the dog's kind of wondering. And Dr. Crack's like, well, those are quite nice, but you didn't get out of your own bed to get them and do exactly what I told you not to do. And then Sonic kind of jumps in here and says, don't worry, he was with me the whole time. And Doc's like, oh yeah, and the dog's like, oh yeah, that's supposed to come for me. And the dog's kind of saying, well, and here the dog is basically saying, well, magical possession is dangerous stuff. Techno magic just makes it worse. You both should have been here the minute things calmed down. But Bunny tells him, hey, things were, it was safe at, Freedom HQ at the time. And Sonic's thinking, yeah, and I got her back the second things cleared up. And the second things cleared up, literally. Well, he's basically saying, I got her to the hospital, second things cleared up. And here we have Bunny telling him, telling Ken, if you will, I guess that's his name, Monkey Kong, saying, hey, don't beat yourself up, we all make mistakes, and I forgive you. And Antoine says, I've been forgiving you as well. And Monkey Kong's like, well, thank you, but I don't really deserve it. And then here we have Nicole informing everybody that she senses something large inbound because she's been scanning for threats as far as the Great Forest. And here we have Sonic going to find out what that is, and Bunny's telling him, hey, if it's trouble, sugar, give him one for me. And that goes double for you, Monkey Kong. Basically telling him, Monkey Kong is he's leaving, because I think Monkey Kong wants to go and join the fight. But instead he says, but here he's stopped by Dr. Quack, and instead he goes, I can go back to my room and rest like the doctor told me. And Sonic's like, don't worry, man, you'll be in spirit with me. And here we have Sonic racing off to find out maybe what the Iron Domain is throwing at him next, and that he swears they're going to pay double time for what they did to Bunny. But instead, what he sees is not the Iron Domain. It's Dr. Eggman, or Robotnik, who's ripping up a tree, saying Knothole wasn't under that tree, basically. And it's something Sonic wasn't really expecting. And I'll be back with part 2.